In the vast darkness of space, where light itself is devoured, a team of intrepid explorers ventures into the unknown. What lies beyond the black hole's event horizon? A gateway to another galaxy, teeming with life forms that defy imagination, or something far more sinister? This is their story, a journey through time, space, and the limits of human understanding. Will they uncover the universe's greatest secret, or will they become its eternal prisoners? Subscribe now for an adventure you'll never forget. The starship, Eclipse, drifted silently through the cold expanse of interstellar space, its sleek metallic hull reflecting faint pinpricks of distant stars. On board, 12 astronauts prepared for what would be humanity's boldest endeavor yet, a mission to explore the mysterious black hole known as Erebos 7. For centuries, scientists had speculated about these cosmic anomalies, but no one had dared approach one so closely. The crew was handpicked not only for their expertise in astrophysics, engineering, and biology, but also for their courage. They knew the risks: gravitational forces capable of tearing apart matter at the subatomic level, radiation levels lethal even from afar, and the haunting possibility of never returning home. Yet they pressed on, driven by curiosity and the promise of discovery. As the Eclipse neared Erebos 7, the ship's advanced sensors began detecting strange fluctuations in space-time. Waves rippled outward like invisible currents, distorting the fabric of reality itself. The crew marveled at the sheer scale of the phenomenon before them. It was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a swirling maelstrom of light and shadow, pulling everything nearby into its insatiable abyss. Captain Elena Voss stood on the observation deck, her eyes fixed on the swirling vortex ahead. She felt a mix of exhilaration and dread, knowing that history hung in the balance. Every instrument aboard the ship screamed warnings, yet the allure of the unknown pulled them forward like moths to a flame. Crossing the event horizon was unlike anything the crew had ever experienced. Time seemed to stretch and compress simultaneously, creating a disorienting sensation akin to being suspended between two realities. Outside the reinforced windows of the Eclipse dash, the universe warped into streaks of color and motion, as if painted by some unseen artist wielding a chaotic brush. Inside, alarms blared intermittently, though the ship's AI systems worked tirelessly to stabilize the vessel amidst the turbulence. Gravity fluctuated wildly, sending loose objects floating erratically before slamming back down with crushing force. Dr. Marcus Hale, the mission's lead astrophysicist, monitored the readings with rapt attention. His instruments showed impossible data, space-time folding upon itself, energy signatures unlike any recorded in human history, and glimpses of structures that defied conventional physics. He scribbled notes furiously, his mind racing to comprehend the implications. Meanwhile, Engineer Priya Patel focused on keeping the ship intact. Her fingers danced across holographic control panels, rerouting power and adjusting thrusters to counteract the unpredictable forces threatening to tear the Eclipse apart. Despite the chaos, there was an undeniable beauty to it all. The black hole wasn't just destruction incarnate, it was creation too. As the ship plunged deeper, the crew witnessed phenomena that challenged every scientific principle they'd ever learned. Streams of plasma spiraled around them in intricate patterns, forming shapes that seemed almost intentional. Was this merely random cosmic artistry, or did it hint at intelligence operating on scales incomprehensible to humans? Emerging from the turbulent passage through the event horizon, the crew found themselves in a realm unlike anything described in textbooks or simulations. Before them stretched a luminous expanse filled with glowing nebulae, pulsating stars, and celestial bodies arranged in perfect geometric symmetry. It was breathtakingly alien, a universe within a universe. But what truly caught their attention was the presence of massive crystalline structures scattered throughout the region. These towering formations shimmered with iridescent hues, refracting light in ways that made them appear alive. Captain Voss ordered the ship to move closer to one of the nearest structures. Upon inspection, they discovered that the crystals emitted low-frequency vibrations detectable only by specialized equipment. Dr. Hale theorized that these vibrations might serve as a form of communication, perhaps used by intelligent beings who called this place home. If true, it meant they weren't alone here, and that thought sent shivers down everyone's spines. The air inside the Eclipse grew tense as speculation ran rampant. Could these entities be friendly? Or were they predators lurking in wait for unsuspecting travelers? The crew debated whether to attempt contact, weighing the potential rewards against the dangers. In the end, curiosity won out. They activated the ship's long-range transmitter, broadcasting a simple mathematical sequence designed to convey peaceful intentions. Then they waited, holding their collective breath as seconds turned into minutes. A response came not in words, but in waves of energy that resonated through the ship's hull. The vibrations matched those emitted by the crystalline structures, confirming Dr. Hale's hypothesis. Whatever existed here understood mathematics, suggesting a level of sophistication comparable to human civilization. Encouraged by this breakthrough, the crew continued experimenting with different signals, gradually building a rudimentary language based on shared principles of physics and geometry. Over time, they pieced together fragments of information about their hosts. The beings referred to themselves as the Luminari, ancient entities composed entirely of energy. Their consciousness transcended physical form, allowing them to manipulate matter and space-time at will. They revealed that the black hole served as a portal connecting countless galaxies, enabling the Luminari to traverse unimaginable distances instantaneously. To them, the concept of linear time held little meaning. They viewed existence as a continuous loop where past, present, and future coexisted harmoniously. This revelation left the crew reeling. Humanity had always assumed itself to be unique, the pinnacle of evolution in an otherwise indifferent cosmos. Now they faced proof that other civilizations existed, vastly superior in both intellect and capability. Yet despite their awe, questions lingered. Why had the Luminari chosen this moment to reveal themselves? And what role did the crew play in their grand design? With trust established, the Luminari invited the crew to leave the safety of the eclipse and venture outside. Using their mastery over energy fields, they created protective suits tailored specifically for human physiology, ensuring survival in the harsh environment. One by one, the astronauts stepped onto the surface of a nearby planetoid, marveling at the surreal landscape unfolding before them. Towering spires of translucent material jutted skyward, while rivers of liquid light flowed gracefully across the terrain. The Luminari communicated telepathically, projecting images and emotions directly into the minds of the crew. Through this exchange, they learned that the Luminari sought help. An external threat loomed on the horizon, a race of parasitic organisms capable of consuming entire star systems. Known as the void spawn, these creatures thrived on entropy, spreading decay wherever they went. Though powerful, the Luminari lacked the means to combat such a foe effectively. They believed humanity's ingenuity could provide the solution needed to preserve their interconnected network of worlds. Faced with this monumental request, the crew deliberated carefully. Agreeing to assist meant risking not only their lives but potentially endangering Earth should the void spawn discover their origins. Conversely, refusing could doom countless civilizations to extinction. Ultimately, they decided to collaborate, driven by a sense of duty and the hope that working alongside the Luminari might unlock new technologies benefiting all of humanity. As collaboration deepened, the Luminari granted access to their archives, a vast repository of knowledge spanning millennia. Within these records lay insights into the fundamental workings of the universe, including methods for harnessing dark matter and bending space-time to create stable wormholes. Such advancements promised to revolutionize space travel, making interstellar journeys feasible within mere hours rather than years. However, mastering these techniques required overcoming significant hurdles, particularly given humanity's limited understanding of quantum mechanics compared to the Luminari's near-perfect comprehension. Engineer Patel spearheaded efforts to adapt Luminari technology for use aboard the Eclipse Dash. Working alongside her counterparts, she developed hybrid systems capable of interfacing seamlessly with existing hardware. Each breakthrough brought them closer to achieving feats once deemed impossible. Simultaneously, Dr. Hale immersed himself in studying the void spawn, analyzing data collected during skirmishes fought by the Luminari. He identified weaknesses exploitable under specific conditions, paving the way for strategic planning. Throughout this process, cultural exchanges flourished. The crew taught the Luminari about Earth's history, art, and philosophy, while learning about the diverse ecosystems populating their galaxy-spanning domain. Fascination grew mutual, strengthening bonds forged initially out of necessity. Despite lingering uncertainties regarding the outcome of their alliance, optimism prevailed. Together, they represented a fusion of strengths poised to reshape destiny. Scouts dispatched by the Luminari returned bearing grim tidings. The void spawn approached rapidly, leaving devastation in their wake. Entire planets reduced to barren husks, drained of resources essential for sustaining life. Panic swept through the coalition as preparations intensified. Weapons systems derived from reverse-engineered Luminari tech underwent rigorous testing, while defensive protocols received final adjustments. Every available asset mobilized toward a single objective, halting the invaders' advance. Captain Voss coordinated strategy sessions involving representatives from multiple species allied with the Luminari. Each participant contributed unique skills and perspectives, enriching tactical discussions. Plans evolved dynamically, adapting to incoming intelligence updates. Morale remained high despite mounting pressure, bolstered by shared resolve to protect innocent lives threatened by annihilation. Meanwhile, reconnaissance missions ventured perilously close to enemy lines, gathering critical intel. Pilots navigated treacherous asteroid fields littered with debris from previous conflicts, dodging ambushes orchestrated by stealthy void-spawn scouts. Data retrieved proved invaluable, revealing vulnerabilities previously overlooked. Armed with fresh insights, engineers fine-tuned weaponry designed to exploit these flaws, increasing chances of success during upcoming engagements. Tensions reached fever pitch as fleets assembled along the designated front line. Ships bristling with armaments formed phalanxes, ready to unleash hellfire upon adversaries daring enough to breach defenses. Commanders issued final orders, emphasizing discipline and coordination above all else. Amidst cacophony of engines roaring to life, silence descended momentarily, an eerie calm preceding inevitable storm. Initial skirmishes erupted sporadically, probing attacks launched by both sides seeking advantage. Plasma cannons discharged bursts of searing energy, illuminating darkness with brief flashes of brilliance. Fighters darted nimbly amidst larger vessels, executing evasive maneuvers while targeting weak points exposed momentarily. Casualties mounted steadily, underscoring brutal efficiency of combatants locked in deadly dance. Back aboard the Eclipse Dash, crew members monitored proceedings anxiously. Tactical displays updated continuously, tracking movements of allies and foes alike. Communication channels buzzed incessantly, relaying coordinates, status reports, and urgent pleas for reinforcements. Emotions ran high, oscillating between elation following successful strikes and despair witnessing comrades fall victim to relentless onslaught. Yet determination persevered, fueling relentless pursuit of victory. Against overwhelming odds, ingenuity triumphed. Modified weapons utilizing principles gleaned from Luminari archives inflicted catastrophic damage upon void-spawn ranks. Targeting nodes responsible for coordinating swarms disrupted cohesion, rendering attackers vulnerable to concentrated assaults. Exploiting this window of opportunity, combined forces executed precision maneuvers isolating segments of hostile fleet, systematically dismantling resistance piece by piece. Victory didn't come without cost. Sacrifices accumulated painfully, etching scars indelibly upon survivors' psyches. Losses weighed heavily, reminding participants starkly of stakes involved. Nevertheless, momentum shifted decisively favoring defenders. Encouraged by tangible progress, morale surged anew, galvanizing renewed vigor among combatants weary yet resolute. Post-battle assessments confirmed significant attrition inflicted upon void-spawn numbers. Survivors retreated hastily, regrouping beyond reach temporarily. Breathing room afforded allowed temporary reprieve, granting opportunity to recuperate losses sustained thus far. Celebration tempered cautiously, cognizant remaining threats necessitating vigilance, unwavering moving forward. Amidst aftermath carnage, solidarity strengthened. Shared experiences forged unbreakable ties, transcending species boundaries. Collaborative projects initiated aimed rebuilding infrastructure ravaged conflict. Resources pooled collectively facilitated rapid recovery efforts, benefiting affected communities extensively. Gratitude expressed openly acknowledged contributions instrumental turning tide decisively favored defense. Interactions fostered deeper appreciation nuances distinguishing cultures converging uniquely circumstances extraordinary. Traditions exchanged freely enriched collective heritage cultivated organically midst adversity endured jointly. Mutual respect solidified foundation, lasting partnerships envisioned extending far beyond immediate crisis resolved recently. Reflection prompted introspection individually universally. Lessons learned applied constructively shaping futures envisioned optimistically hopeful. Determination persisted unwavering commitment preserving peace hard-won achieved collaboratively, united front steadfast, facing challenges, impending inevitably horizon expanding continually. With the immediate threat of the void spawn neutralized, humanity and the Luminari turned their focus toward unlocking the full potential of the knowledge shared during their alliance. The Eclipse became a hub of innovation, its labs buzzing with activity as scientists worked tirelessly to integrate luminary principles into human technology. Dr. Hale spearheaded efforts to decode the intricate energy patterns that governed the luminary's existence, while Engineer Patel led teams developing hybrid systems capable of interfacing with both organic and synthetic materials. The results were nothing short of revolutionary. Energy sources once thought impossible, such as harnessing dark matter or bending spacetime, were now within reach. Prototypes of compact wormhole generators promised to make interstellar travel instantaneous, effectively eliminating the vast distances that had long hindered exploration. Medical advancements allowed for the regeneration of damaged tissues using bioenergy fields, offering hope for treating previously incurable conditions. Agricultural innovations enabled crops to grow in even the harshest environments, ensuring food security for future colonies on distant planets. But perhaps the most profound impact was philosophical. Humanity began to see itself not as an isolated species struggling against the cosmos, but as part of a greater tapestry woven from countless threads of life. This newfound perspective fostered humility and curiosity, driving further collaboration between Earth and the Luminary's galaxy-spanning civilization. Together, they envisioned a future where science and compassion could coexist harmoniously, creating a legacy that transcended individual lifetimes. Despite the triumphs, shadows lingered at the edges of this bright new horizon. The rapid pace of technological advancement raised ethical concerns that could no longer be ignored. Questions about the misuse of power loomed large. What would prevent these tools from falling into the wrong hands? Could humanity resist the temptation to exploit such capabilities for conquest rather than cooperation? Captain Voss convened meetings aboard the Eclipse to address these dilemmas. Philosophers, ethicists, and leaders from various species gathered to debate the implications of their discoveries. Some argued for strict regulations, fearing the destabilization of galactic politics if certain technologies spread unchecked. Others believed that limiting access would stifle progress and deny less advanced civilizations opportunities for growth. The discussions grew heated, reflecting the complexity of balancing ambition with responsibility. Meanwhile, whispers of dissent emerged among factions within the coalition. Not everyone shared the same vision for the future. A small but vocal group questioned whether humanity truly deserved a place alongside the Luminari, citing Earth's history of conflict and environmental destruction. These voices warned of repeating past mistakes on a cosmic scale, urging caution before embracing change too quickly. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, threatening to fracture the fragile unity forged through shared struggle. As weeks turned into months, nostalgia for Earth weighed heavily on the crew of the Eclipse Dash. Despite the wonders surrounding them, reminders of home remained constant companions. The faint hum of familiar machinery, the comforting routines of daily life aboard the ship, and memories carried in each heart. Letters and messages sent back to Earth traveled slowly, delayed by the immense distance separating them from their loved ones. Yet these communications served as lifelines, tethering them to the world they had left behind. For some, thoughts of returning sparked excitement. For others, apprehension gnawed at their resolve. How would humanity react to tales of alien alliances and universe-altering discoveries? Would they embrace the possibilities or recoil in fear of the unknown? The crew grappled with these uncertainties, knowing their actions would shape perceptions for generations to come. In quieter moments, Captain Voss found herself gazing out at the stars, wondering what awaited them upon their return. She imagined Earth transformed, cities powered by clean energy, skies filled with ships capable of traversing galaxies, and people united by a common purpose. But she also feared the darker paths humanity might take, driven by greed or fear. Her mind wrestled with these dual visions, oscillating between hope and dread as she contemplated the weight of her responsibilities. The time came for the Eclipse to depart the Luminari's domain and begin its journey back to Earth. Farewells were bittersweet, marked by gratitude for all they had learned and sorrow for leaving behind friends who had become family. The Luminari gifted the crew one final token of goodwill, a crystalline artifact imbued with their collective wisdom, designed to guide humanity as it navigated the challenges ahead. As the ship prepared to enter the black hole once more, the crew reflected on how far they had come. They had faced unimaginable dangers, formed bonds across species, and glimpsed truths that redefined their understanding of existence. Though they carried scars, both visible and invisible, they also bore gifts of knowledge and experience that would forever alter the course of human history. Crossing the event horizon felt different this time. Instead of trepidation, there was a sense of closure, as though they were completing a chapter in a much larger story. The swirling vortex seemed almost welcoming, guiding them gently back toward their own galaxy. As the chaos subsided and familiar constellations reappeared outside the windows, the crew allowed themselves a moment of quiet reflection. They had ventured beyond the boundaries of known reality and returned changed, ready to share their story with a waiting world. Back on Earth, the arrival of the eclipse ignited a media frenzy unlike anything seen before. News outlets broadcast live coverage as the ship descended through the atmosphere, its sleek form glowing against the blue sky. Crowds gathered in awe, waving flags and cheering wildly. For many, the mission represented not just scientific achievement, but a testament to the resilience and curiosity that defined humanity. The crew delivered their report to global leaders, detailing their encounters with the Luminari, their battle against the void spread, and the transformative technologies they brought home. Governments scrambled to establish regulatory frameworks to manage the influx of new ideas, while researchers clamored for access to the data collected during the expedition. Debates raged over how best to implement these advancements responsibly, echoing the discussions held aboard the Eclipse Dash. Yet amidst the chaos, a sense of wonder prevailed. People looked up at the night sky with renewed reverence, knowing they were no longer alone in the universe. The crystalline artifact gifted by the Luminari became a symbol of unity, housed in a museum dedicated to preserving the lessons learned during the mission. It served as a reminder of the delicate balance between ambition and ethics, urging humanity to tread carefully as it stepped boldly into the future. And so, under the watchful eyes of billions, a new era dawned, an age of exploration, collaboration, and boundless possibility. The journey through the black hole had been only the beginning, a spark igniting a flame that would illuminate the path forward for centuries to come. If you enjoyed this epic tale of discovery, courage, and the infinite mysteries of the universe, don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling adventures beyond your imagination. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload, and join us as we continue exploring the wonders of space and beyond. Thank you for watching, and remember, the stars are calling. Will you answer?